Mountain News at 5:30. We'll take you live to Corbin, where the Southeastern Kentucky Boat and RV Show is going on right now. The White House says some lines of communication are open to China. We've got the latest on the recovery of the spy balloon and the president's plan for dealing with other flying objects.
And sunny weather is on the way as we head into the weekend. I'll break down the very latest on warming temperatures as well coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. This weekend, the second annual Southeastern Kentucky Boat and RV Show gets underway at the Corbin Arena. WYMT's Olivia Calfee is live at the event right now. Olivia?
Thank you, Keaton. The event started at 2 p.m. today, and there have already been a ton of people that have showed up at the Corbin Arena to really just enjoy the good deals. There's so much here to offer. It's been great. But earlier today, I spoke with Corbin Tourism Director Maggie Mulholland about why events like these are so important for the community.
Especially in the winter time, when cities such as ours are more seasonal in nature, this type of event is perfect because it draws people from Tennessee, Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky, North.
But there really is something here for everyone. There's actually a bouncy slide over there that I think I might have to find myself on later. It looks like a lot of fun. So something for kids, something for adults. It's been a great day. But I'm live in Corbin. Olivia Calfee, now back to you.
Thank you, Olivia. We'll be checking back with her tonight at 6.
I could use a go on a bouncy slide myself as we continue to deal with the cloudy conditions through the nighttime hours tonight. We'll continue to see the potential for some of that to start clearing out as we head a little bit later on tonight. Into the low 30s right now in London Corbin Airport with the overcast in place. We'll continue to see temperatures on the cold side as we head through tonight. We're already at or below freezing in many spots. Parts of the Cumberland Valley just a touch above, but either way, it's still chilly out there. And for instance, Wise 27, but with northwest winds feels closer to 16 out in some places. So it does feel a little chilly out in spots tonight. Watching a little bit in the way of some flurry activity coming down the Mountain Parkway right now as you head up toward places like Powell County and just slowly into Wolfe County as that continues to push on in. We've seen some of that today, but it's not been too much of a hindrance. The big story continues to be flood warnings in effect as we watch what's left of this system start to push on out. I think we're finished with the rainfall for at least a few days, but the flood warnings still continue through the weekend as we watch some of those rivers crest and fall. 12 hours, we're going to continue to see that potential as we watch skies clear and temperatures dropping to the 20s. Guys.
Thanks, Evan. U.S. military officials say they've concluded recovery operations of the Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina. That balloon and 3 other aerial objects were shot down in the last 2 weeks. In the wake of the incidents, President Biden is now calling for more specific protocol for tracking and potentially downing unknown aerial objects. Willie James Inman has more from Washington.
Navy, Coast Guard, and FBI investigators wrapped up recovery efforts of the Chinese spy balloon that the U.S. shot down off the coast of South Carolina earlier this month.
We don't believe that the balloon was able to collect anything of great significance, certainly nothing additive to what the Chinese may have already been able to do through other means. CBS
News has learned the balloon was first detected in late January after launching off the south coast of China. U.S. officials believe its intended course was just over Guam and Hawaii, but winds blew it toward Alaska, across Canada, and over the mainland U.S.
How do they know we successfully jammed the communications? If we didn't, it was foolhardy to allow the balloon to continue across the continental United States.
President Biden has directed a team to develop sharper protocols for when to shoot down unidentified objects in the sky. Those rules will be classified and shared with Congress, but they won't be released to the public. On Thursday, the president said the U.S. intelligence community believes 3 unidentified objects he ordered shot down over the U.S. and Canada last weekend most likely belonged to private research or recreational companies.
Nothing right now suggests they were related to China's spy balloon program or that they were surveillance vehicles from any other country.
The president says he does want to discuss the spy balloon with China's president.
There's no preconditions for a call. The president will want to have a conversation with President Xi at the appropriate time.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry said the U.S. cannot ask for a conversation until it brings back sound and steady relations. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Chinese officials said U.S. balloons have repeatedly flown into Chinese airspace. They also warned that Washington must stop any form of official contact with Taiwan, country China says it still controls. A bipartisan group of 5 lawmakers sent President Biden a letter asking him to send F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. In the letter, the 5 congressmen said Ukraine needs the F-16 Fighting Falcon aircraft or similar 4th-generation aircraft as soon as possible. They cited a renewed Russian offensive and the expectation that large-scale combat operations will ramp up. So far, President Biden has ruled out giving Kiev combat aircraft. The FBI says it has contained a malicious cyber attack on part of its computer network. Authorities believe it involved a system the FBI uses to investigate images of child exploitation. Sources say the hack targeted the New York field office, one of the largest FBI offices in the country. It's not yet clear where the attack originated. Former President Donald Trump is moving to block 2 women who previously accused him of sexual assault from testifying at his upcoming defamation trial. E. Jean Carroll, a former magazine columnist, is suing Trump for defamation after he denied raping her in the mid-90s. Carroll wants to call 2 other Trump accusers to the stand and use their videotaped depositions. Natasha Stoynoff and Jessica Leeds came forward with allegations against Trump in 2016. His lawyers say the women's testimonies are not relevant to the defamation case. Just 3 weeks after the nation saw the disturbing footage of Tyre Nichols' violent arrest, the 5 former Memphis police officers involved pleaded not guilty to 2nd-degree murder and other charges. Nichols' mother and stepfather were in the courtroom with their attorney, Ben Crump. Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
I'm waiting for somebody to wake me up.
The family of Tyre Nichols addressed the media moments after the 5 former Memphis police officers accused of killing him made their first court appearance.
We have to start this process of justice right now. And I want each and every one of those police officers to be able to look me in the face.
The officers looked straight ahead as they pleaded not guilty to 2nd-degree murder and other charges.
At this time, we waive the formal reading of the indictment off to the court, a plea of not guilty.
The 29-year-old died in a hospital just 3 days after being pulled over and brutally beaten by the black officers in an incident caught on camera.
When you look at the video, there was no dignity there.
Nichols is the latest police-involved death to spark nationwide outrage and protests. The Nichols family and their attorneys have also raised questions about police culture and training.
Who Tyre was what you saw in that video. While everybody else was escalating it, using excessive force, Tyre was de-escalating, trying to do everything in his power to remain calm.
An attorney for one of the officers charged previewed his defense.
This is a country where black people are incarcerated at 5 times the rate of white people. A country where black people are 7.5 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of murder than white people.
The 5 officers involved in Nichols' death are all out on bond and are due back in court in May. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
2 other Memphis police officers have also been relieved of duty as a result of the attack, as well as 3 fire department members, EMTs, who responded to the scene. Michigan State Democrat Representative Alyssa Slotkin gave remarks today on the Michigan State University shooting that happened on Monday. 3 people were killed and 5 others were wounded. Representative Slotkin praised the response of law enforcement when the gunman opened fire at Michigan State University and recognized them for their service and their valor. Governor Slotkin said they went to Berkeley Hall and saw the program the FBI was running to get the personal effects back to people who were in that classroom.
I just wanted to recognize their service, their valor, while everyone was running away from this location. A couple days ago, they were running towards the sound of gunfire.
She said she saw the crime scene and it was something that every legislator should have to do and see. Dozens of people gathered at the Michigan Capitol building Wednesday for a peaceful sit-down protest against gun violence. Protesters are supporting the community after the tragic mass shooting at Michigan State University. Protesters hope to make some change and have their voices heard about gun laws in Michigan. Several students from Michigan State attended the event, as did several veterans. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, during the pandemic, gyms emptied out. Now they're filling back up again. Take a look at how fitness centers are making a comeback.
Plus, sunshine is making a comeback as we head into a rather nice weekend on the way. The latest on temperatures back near 60. Coming up after this.